What's up, everybody? Welcome to the fifth episode of She's Got Game. So today I'm here with former FSU player, gone pro, Taylor O'Brien. So how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, good, pretty good. Well, I'm
Oh,
really glad that you were able to join the podcast today. So,
of course. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited. Really
of
excited to be here.
course, of course. So we're here to talk about your journey and everything. So I wanted to ask you what initially got you into basketball in the first place?
Well, I started playing basketball when I was like 9, so that's kind of later for
Mhm.
kids in America. Like they usually start when they're like 3, 4, really, really young. And I thought basketball was for boys, so I didn't want to play. And then I started playing because my parents kind of forced me to. But once I started playing, I actually really liked it, and it kind of just took off from there. And honestly, just like them wanting to keep me and my siblings really active kind of helped me like figure out what I wanted to do sports wise. And it was honestly, I'm so glad that they did. And I just loved it from then on. So I really didn't need their push after that, but I really did like it a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah, it's really good that you found love in the sport because it's definitely a great sport. I mean, look at you now, you're making a career out of it and everything, so that's really good. After a while, your parents didn't really need to push you. Was after that point, did you always think of it as you wanting to go pro, or was it kind of a whole process?
Honestly, I didn't know what I was going to do basketball wise. I thought that I wanted to play at the highest level that I could. I always knew that I wanted to go play. I wanted to play professionally at some point in my life. So I just wanted to do whatever it took and to do the steps that I needed to take to get there. And that kind of started just going from like elementary, middle, high school to college. And then after that, it was kind of like because I took all those steps and I met all these people and made these connections, I was able to show my skills and able to get all the way to a professional level. So that was really cool for me to be able to make it all the way here.
It's good to hear. And did you play AAU or anything?
I played AAU. I played on FenCore for the first couple years of my career, and then I changed to Philly Triple Threat, and I was there for the rest of my AAU career.
Oh, okay, okay, that's good. It's a lot different for me because I'm here in Costa Rica. I'm from the States, but there's not like AAU out here. So I kind of like to hear from other overseas players because not everybody got to play AAU. So it's
Yeah,
definitely good to hear. Hmm.
AAU was such a fun experience for such a long time too, and playing all the best of the best all over the world was like so cool. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a pretty fun experience. So I want you to walk me through the process of you kind of being able to play in college and then the places you ended up playing.
So because I played AAU, I got a couple offers going out of high school. I had Bucknell and St. Joe's were my only two offers
Mhm.
coming out of high school, and it was such a toss up for where I wanted to go because I didn't really know where I wanted to go, didn't know what I wanted to do, and I ended up picking Bucknell because it was good academics, good basketball. I would come in, make an impact, and it was more of a fit for me just because I got to kind of leave home a little bit.
Mhm.
Just so I could get like the full college experience. And I honestly really liked it there. I learned a lot from my teammates, my coaches, and everybody who was at Bucknell. And that kind of led me because I was able to play well at Bucknell and I played for 4 years there. It got me the looks for when we had our COVID year. I graduated from Bucknell, so I was there for 4 years. And then after I was able to use my year of eligibility to go play at Florida State for my grad year.
Mm.
So I was able to get my master's and play basketball at the same time at Florida State for 1 year. And then that was coming out of my college career, which it was completely different, like recruiting wise, because I was in the portal instead.
Mhm.
And I got way more offers. Um, because I did so well at Bucknell, I was able to go to Florida State and kind of show that I was able to play at a higher level. And
Mhm.
once I was there, I was really excited to see what I could do at a higher level. And I played really well up until I got hurt, unfortunately,
Mm.
probably in like the third or fourth game at Florida State. but then afterwards I had to work my way back up, and I ended up like playing really well at the end of my season again. But it allowed me to also get the connections and be able to show that I am able to play at a professional level. And that was kind of where that's when I knew that I was able to play pro, because after my Florida State season, I talked to my coach and she put me in contact with an agent, and he found me the league that I'm playing in now, which is in the United Kingdom, and called the WBBL, the Women's British Basketball League, and I've been playing here for a
Mhm.
year now.
Wow, that's really good to hear. So I know you said you got injured. Talk to me about what it was like mentally, because you're playing at this collegiate level and it's kind of like a
Mhm.
ticking kind of time clock. So
Yep.
talk to me about like how that was.
Well, I had a high ankle sprain. I landed on one of our practice players' feet during practice.
Mhm.
Right before we were about to play Florida, which is like a state rival. It was going to be like such a big game. I was really excited for it. I was out for 10 games, and I was in boot, and it was a really hard, it was really hard because I was already coming from a small school and I had to prove myself to get to be a starter to play at such a high level. And then for me to get injured kind of put me back a step, because then I had to refigure out how to get my be comfortable again, get my athleticism back. Just kind of starting at a lower level already made it really hard mentally for me, honestly. But I had really awesome teammates that were able to help me all throughout the whole year. But
Mhm.
because it was such a small time frame, when I felt fully 100% comfortable was like our second to last or last game, honestly, because it's really hard to come back from an injury, especially being out for such a long time. I think it was out for like a month,
Mhm.
and that drags, especially like during season. Like all I wanted to do was play, and not being able to like really stunk, especially playing all of the teams like in the ACC was like such a cool experience, like going to all these different places and playing all these big players and big teams. And but still being there and doing these things is like really cool to be a part of something like that.
Mhm.
So honestly, I wouldn't change it. Everything happens for a reason. And
Exactly.
it made me a lot mentally stronger, mentally tougher. So like to deal with adversity, like even this year, like I was injured for pretty much half of the year this year, but I played through it all. I like messed my ribs up. I tore ligaments in my thumb, in my shooting thumb, and
Uh,
then um, and then what I do, and then I messed my back up not too long ago. So like actually just all basketball injuries, but like again, it just made me tougher, made me stronger, and I was able
mhm.
to play them even though they weren't as serious, but like still serious injuries. But
Mhm.
it makes you appreciate when you are able to play
Uh-huh.
and how important it is for you to take care of your body.
Yeah, that's really good to hear, especially coming from you, like your mentality and everything, how you're still playing, still pushing throughout all these injuries. A lot of people don't really have that in basketball, but like you said, everything kind of happens for a reason. So it all kind of works out in the end, and you can kind of see it now. So that's really good.
Mhm.
I'm really happy to hear that from you.
Thank you.
Of course. So I want you to talk. So, I know you played in college, 4 years plus. How was that transition, like both academically and in the sport? How are you able to kind of juggle your studies and then playing at the same time?
So freshman year was definitely my hardest year academically, just because I didn't know the level of intensity that my school was. Like Bucknell is a really good academic school, so
Hmm.
they expected all of the people that came in to be good at school, know how to do school, and just be able to handle the workload. I've never been challenged like that fully academically and in that type of way. And it was really hard for me to adjust, especially to all these classes that I've never heard of, never been a part of, and everything was just super new. And I had to really go about figuring out how learning works best for me in this type of environment, especially with so much free time
Hmm.
academically. Like freshman year, you have so many classes, and then as you go on, you have less classes, you just have more work for yourself. So like you have to do more on your own. Because when I was a graduate at Florida State, like I only had class twice a week for
Mm.
3 hours, and the rest of the week I was just doing papers and projects and stuff. But like that's really hard to adjust to, especially if you're not like a person that's on top of your stuff. Like you need to be able to learn how to time manage, how to put things aside and put things that are important ahead of other things that like maybe more enjoyable. Like I loved to sleep. I loved to take naps. I was constantly taking naps in between practice and workouts and class. Like I just went home and I went and napped. And I feel like as you get older, you learn to like prioritize your academics more. And instead of taking a nap, you'll stay and like do more work. And honestly, it's hard balancing being an athlete and a student at the same time. But like the
Mhm.
more you do it over and over, years after years, like you really figure out how to do it the best way.
Mhm.
And I think that's just what it takes is just time, like over and over, keep doing the same thing and figuring out what works best for you. And I feel like that's different for every single person is how they study best, how they learn best, how they do everything in their own way. And honestly, that's how I've been my whole life is just learning how to like manage my stuff so I can still do the things I want to do and still get everything done that I need to get done.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really good to hear from someone like you because even for me right now, I had to like take a step down. Like I had to homeschool just so that I could, train and just do other stuff that I wanted to do, but I'm going to school next year. So to kind of hear from somebody else how it is, like the workload and how you manage to balance, it's all like time management and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
hear it from like a lot of other women who are playing pro right now. Like you kind of just have to think more like maturely, like what should I do with this time and stuff like that. So I definitely kind of hear that a lot.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if you have so many things you need to do in a day, prioritizing, all right, maybe instead of me sitting on my phone, being on TikTok for an hour, maybe I should just do a couple homework problems and then I can do TikTok all night when I'm done.
Yeah, I definitely have to take that one.
Yeah, me too.
So, I know you said you had an agent whenever you were starting your pro season. So, what exactly was that process? Was it kind of right away? Was it a long process to kind of get overseas to where you are now? How was that?
So because I had really no idea where to go with this and I'm didn't have anybody in my family who was that played professionally like basketball wise in this day and age, I really didn't know what to do or who to look for. So I honestly relied on my Florida State coaches and they helped me immensely. It was my they have so many connections with people overseas, especially because my head coach, Brooke Wyckoff, she also played overseas
Mm.
and she was like she had people and had connections and she put me in contact with my agent and he's been nothing but the best and he honestly like finding somebody who you trust like with this type of work is like really important and just knowing like I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I had no starting place, especially coming off of an injury. I had to really prove that like I'm able to play pro and play in this kind of situation. And so he was able to find me this job, which I really, really loved it here. And it was like perfect integration from college to pro life because it's like so much like a family here, so much like
Wow.
America in a way. And then it was like very easy adjustment from going to college to here because the place I'm at is similar to a college. Because
Mhm.
like most of my teammates are studying, getting their masters here. So it's a lot easier to make that adjustment because of how similar it is to the US. Like everyone speaks English, all the stores are walkable, all of the stores are English. So everything is super easy to like the food is very similar. So like it wasn't like so far out of my realm that I was really, really uncomfortable. And because every single person on my team spoke English, they were all able to integrate and help me be comfortable in a place that is not like my home, but they
Mhm.
made it like so homey and so open and welcome. And it was honestly the best thing I could have asked for. And it was perfect for me in this time. And I'm really grateful that I was here.
Wow, that's really, really good. Like, it's not that's not the case for a lot of people going into the pro area. A lot of people go into foreign countries where it's a complete culture shock. I hear that a
Yeah.
lot. So, yeah, that's really, really good to hear from you.
Yeah.
I want, what's that?
I said, oh yeah. As a rookie season, it was like perfect for me, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really, really good. So I know, like you're saying, it's great out there. Go a little bit more into detail, even like just with the season, with playing and everything like that. What's your experience? Um, is it a little bit different of a playing style? How is it both on and off the court?
So on the court, it was very similar to how we played at Florida State, which really helped me out a lot because I was so used to playing that same style all last year. So then this year coming in here, it was like very easy for me to be comfortable in how we played. We played very fast paced, very run and gun, up and down. Like we were going back and forth the entire time. At Florida State, we were trying to get most possessions, most points, as much like up and down play that we could. And we did the same thing here, was like very much run on actions and not as much on like play based. It was honestly just like personnel based and going about it in the way if you see a matchup that's smart, making the right reads, right decisions, and like making it so player led that we had so much power to like make our own decisions and be smart about how we really wanted to play and how we played as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And that was super easy for me to like adjust to because I've been playing like that for such a long time, but it was also so free that we could really talk to our coach and be like, I see this, I want to do this, and this would be beneficial, and we're doing this. And it was so open for communication and interpretation that we were able to really be successful this year because all of us, we had such skilled players and we were all able to work really, really well together. And everybody got along, which was like so rare in women's basketball, but like our whole team like really had no issues and it was so refreshing to be such a tight-knit group that everybody really loved seeing each other every single day, even though we did see each other every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really hard to come by. That kind of leads on to like the off-court stuff is like just getting adjusted here. Like all of the stores are very, very close. All of the like things to do are really, really close. Like, and all of our teammates were so close to each other. Like, we made such good friendships here. Like, being here for 9 months, I made friends that I'll have for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of how well we like all worked together and everybody was so different in their own way that it just like worked for us. And we were able to play so well together. And I think that's such a blessing because like a lot of teams don't have that type of chemistry that we had. And it made it so fun. And I think that's why honestly I had such a good time here this year. Because it was really hard to adjust because I went from warm, sunny Florida to cold,
Mm-hmm.
rainy the UK. But
Yeah.
honestly, it was worth it because all of the people made it so enjoyable. Um, but I think that's it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy to hear that from you because, you don't really, like I said earlier, you don't really hear that from a lot of overseas players. And especially for you being your rookie season, that's great. So, like, I know you said you were coming off of all these injuries. Do you think that was worth it going through all of that kind of that paved the way for what it is now?
Yeah, for sure. I think every injury is like, again, a setback for like a come up. So I think it just
Mm-hmm.
makes you stronger, makes you and like look at the things that are really important and making sure you're doing the right things, like make sure your body stays healthy and making sure like I know injuries aren't really preventable, but like some you can still look at and be like, okay, well, like I can do this to make sure that this is strong and healthy and make sure that I can take these precautions. And I think it just helps for hindsight, like just being smart about your body and being able to really utilize everything that you have here. Like I know a lot of places playing pro like don't have the amenities that we have here, which is really exciting. Like we have a weight room, we lift like 2, 3 times a week. We have our strength coaches, we have our physios that like all help us, like making sure that we're good as athletes. And like I know that's hard to come by in other countries, but like I honestly really loved it here just because of all of the stuff that we were able to have. We had nutritionists, we had so many different things, so many assistant coaches. We had media people and staff, and so many people helping us and helping us become like a really, really good basketball team. And it was so exciting to be here.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that literally just sounds like a dream come true, really. in the pro
Yeah.
world. That's really, really good. So I know you're talking about how you have like the amenities and you're able to lift 3 times a week and stuff like that. So as a kid, did you have like a certain training regimen? And if so, how did it change from like the collegiate and then to the pro level?
So I think a lot of my younger, like me playing basketball when I was young was me basically like going off of talent because I really did not get in the gym extra. I really did not work on my game. I was just running and chucking up left-handed layups, I'm not gonna lie. And once I figured out that if you actually put in the work and actually put in the effort, like you will get better. That probably took me until I had a couple rough games. I just wasn't playing well. And it kind of like jump started like you need to work hard. You can't just fly by on athleticism. So I went and I think when I was younger, I went to a shooting coach like a couple times. His name was Jay Jameson. He was like really good guy, really knew what he was talking about, and he helped me fix my shot. And then once I went to him, I started doing all of his skill work and stuff, and then that kind of helped me gain confidence and like do the repetition that I needed. And then in college, it kind of was such an adjustment because coming from high school, where I played and started every single game since freshman year all the way up until senior year, coming in senior year and sitting the bench and not really knowing how to go about that was really difficult. And I was just so confused on why am I not playing? Why am I not? What am I doing wrong? And it wasn't anything I was doing wrong. The girls were just older, more experienced, and smarter basketball players. So I had to go and learn how to really be a better basketball player in the situation that I'm in. So I went and I worked out. Me and my roommate worked out all the time. We went and shot late nights. Like we would go anytime we had free time. Instead of taking a nap, we go get shots up at the gym. Like we were like dedicated because we wanted to produce when we stepped on the floor because we didn't have as much time as we usually had in high school. So when we stepped on the floor, we had to like make an impact. And
Hmm.
then that just kind of carried over every single year. And I would play really well. And then if I had like a drop off or I didn't play as well, I'd go back in the gym, keep getting better and better and just doing different things, repeating all the like shots that I usually take during the games. Just practicing, just over and over practicing. I would probably work out once a day. And then when I got to Florida State, I did the same thing. I felt like I had to prove myself again because I, again, was coming from a smaller school to a bigger school. Some
Hmm.
girls were there for 5 years, and I needed to prove that I could play at a higher level. So I was working out every day. I worked out all the summer leading up until I went to Florida State during the end of the summer. And then that kind of helped me just get comfortable. And I feel like honestly, basketball is all 90% mental. So like
Hmm.
I could practice every single day, but like if you step on the court and don't think that you're gonna make the shots, like you're not going to. So just
Hmm.
repeating what you're doing and practicing repetition, like it'll become confidence and become natural once you like actually get on the court. And that's why I made such an easy transition. And then once I got hurt, having to gain that confidence back again and then practicing in the gym, going and getting up extra reps like all the time. And every single time I stepped up in the gym or on the court, I gave 100% every single time.
Hmm.
Even when I was young and I didn't practice, I didn't go early. I stayed late probably after practice, but like during practice, I gave 110% every single time. I was at the
Hmm.
front of every single line of every single drill. I won every sprint, but I was like giving 100%. And then after, I was like, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm ready to go. But it's just like getting used to like working hard helps so much and will really
Hmm.
like get you to places because like you can only skate by on being good for so long.
Hmm. Yeah, that's definitely some good advice to hear because even like when you're young, you kind of hear a lot, like a lot, no matter where you are. A lot of kids are good whenever they're young. Like you said, you couldn't really go off of talent for your whole life. So it's really good to hear that you like realized that and then started working
Yeah.
hard because it's a lot of dedication, like you're saying, late night shots with your roommate and stuff like that. So that's really really good dedication. I'm really glad that you were able to kind of learn that throughout the way.
Yeah.
So next up, this is the last part of the interview. We have some speed questions to kind of just get to know you a little bit better as a player. So the first question is, what's your go-to pregame song?
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm a huge Gunna fan right now, so probably something Gunna.
Oh yeah, Gunna's always good for pregame. All right,
Definitely.
next, what's that?
I just said he's my favorite.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's pretty good. So what next question is, what's your favorite hoop shoe at the moment?
Shoe. I mean, I've been rocking my Katie's all year, so probably my Aunt Pearl's. Probably
Mm,
just those for now.
which ones are they?
Trying
The
to get some.
15th?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I have the purple ones. They're pretty comfortable. I like them a
They're,
lot.
they're so comfortable.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the next question is, what's your top three players? So they could be current, they could be retired, male, female, whatever level.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go. I feel like I'm really on Caitlin Clark right now. She's really
Mm-hmm.
balling out right now. I really love Nika Mule too. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna go WNBA right now, but I feel like Nika Mule's defense is like
Mm-hmm.
that, and then probably I love the way that Flage plays. I really
Mm-hmm.
do. So I'm gonna give her. She's my number one actually, honestly.
Number one. That's good to hear. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's really, really, really good. And the fact that she's able to like rap at the same time is just crazy.
Yeah. She has so much potential too. She's gonna be so good next year too.
Yeah, women's basketball is definitely going up like by the year. Like all these college players and now they're
Oh,
in the league. Like it's crazy.
it's gonna
So
be so exciting to watch them all play.
I know, I know. I need to go to the US to see them in person, but I'm all the way here. I have to stick to ESPN right now.
Gotta take a trip.
I know, I know. Probably will soon, hopefully. So, next thing is what is your go-to move? So, I know everybody has their like move that works every time, their go-to. What is that for you?
Um, Honestly, probably just a left hand layup. I feel like I'm fast enough to go past people and then just like run hook shot left hand layup or going right, like going to my right hand layup, turn, stop, and pop. Like
Oh, uh-huh.
plant my right foot, turn, spin around, and shoot it like a little pull up. I love a
Hmm.
pull up,
Yeah.
but I feel like I do that fairly often. So either a pull up or a left hand layup, honestly.
Okay. Are you a lefty?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
get
okay. That
like
explains.
I get like one shot every game. Full easy left hand layup just because people forget I'm a lefty every game. It happens
Mm.
all the time.
That's good. I hear that a lot. You don't see a lot of lefties, but they're always like you have to really watch their game to realize like, oh wait, she's left-handed. So that's definitely the perk.
Right. Oh
So
yeah.
next, I want you to describe your game in three words.
Um, Fast, mm, athletic, and heart.
All right. Those are three
These
good attributes to have.
gotta
Yeah.
put your definitely gotta put your all into your game, you know?
Hmm.
Put your all always. I also
Yeah.
wear my heart on my sleeve. If I'm upset, you'll know. If I'm excited, you'll know.
Yeah, that's good. Even whenever you're saying you're like first in the sprints, first always give me 100, that's definitely a good attribute that not a lot of people have. So, you'll go like a lot of places, a lot of different countries just because you work really hard. That's really, really good. All right, next one. So this is like a question that I've asked like in previous interviews and stuff, and it's like a little inside joke. So, what is your favorite basketball movie right now?
Basketball movie? Oh, I don't know. I always loving basketball, but like I also love Coach Carter. Love that
Mm.
movie. I feel like the classics. I like those.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we
What's the inside joke?
it's like that everyone was gonna say Love and Basketball because it's so
That's
like
fair.
classic and everybody just likes Love and Basketball. But
That's
I've heard
fair.
a lot of stuff. Like I've heard High School Musical, I've heard a whole lot of other stuff. And like it's
I don't know if
kind
I
of
consider that a
basketball.
basketball
Like
movie, but
yeah.
I wouldn't consider it. Oh well.
Yeah, it's got a few basketball players in it. I mean, call it a basketball movie, I guess. But I haven't seen Coach Carter yet. I still have to watch it. I told the last interviewee that I was gonna watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. Just loving basketball.
That's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a classic. Gotta watch Carter.
I'll see. Maybe I can watch it tonight. Have a movie night.
There you
So
go.
next thing is what's the coolest environment you've been able to play in?
I was actually just talking about this the other day. When I played at either Virginia Tech or Notre Dame, I
Mm-hmm.
think that was the first time that I've ever been in like a space where so many people were like cheering against me, you know? That was like so insane. We walked in to Notre Dame with all of the people had green glow sticks in their hands, and when they were doing the intros to the game, like we were they turned off all of the lights, and then every single person in the place was like swinging the green glow stick around, and it was jam-packed stadium. It was unreal. It was so cool. And I was watching, I was like, wow, this is like so cool. And then I was like, all right, we have to like go and beat them now. And we actually got 20. We actually lost by 20. So that was
Um,
really, really something. Um, and then the same type of thing at Virginia Tech, it was like they had their all synchronized phones with the lights on it, and they were all screaming. The fans were so crazy, and they were so loud, and they were really trying to like heckle us the entire game, and we ended up like losing really bad again. But it was like honestly such a cool environment to play in because there were so many people supporting women's basketball there.
mhm.
And then I'm trying to think. There was one more that was really, really cool. Virginia also had a huge following with their team when we went to Virginia. And it was so compact in that gym that like all of the people sounded so loud, and it was such a good game. We won that game. It was like technicals, people were getting thrown out. It was
Wow.
a really, really good game. And then in the March Madness tournament was awesome when we played at Iowa right before Iowa was playing. So all the people came early to like watch Iowa play and watch Caitlin Clark play. And we honestly were like our entire game was all filled with Iowa fans waiting for Caitlin Clark to come and play. And it was honestly such a cool thing to even see after the game was over. And she walked out and everyone started screaming, and it was
Wow.
insane. It's like,
That's crazy. And that's crazy to be on those big stages, be able to play again as a result of your hard work. Being playing alongside future WNBA players. I mean, like right now, Caitlin Clark, she's like on fire right now. So that's really, really cool experience to kind of be able to play
yeah,
alongside her. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. We
Wow.
actually just played against London, who was Tammy is actually on London, who is now Caitlin Clark's teammate. So that was really cool that we got to play against her. So
Wow. That's awesome. And yeah,
yeah,
even in those leagues like where you're at now, like a lot of people don't know, but WNBA players, they go to these places during the off season and stuff like that. So there's no doubt that you'll encounter, play with or against like WNBA players. So I think that's really, really cool. Really cool thing to experience.
yeah, for sure.
So with this being your rookie year, do you have a certain dream place to play in around the world?
Not right now. I feel like when I was younger, I always said I wanted to play in Spain, just because I knew that it was like warm there, great competition, and all like best of the best. And my teammate, not my teammate, my coach at Florida State played in Spain, and she said she loved it. And I was like, I knew I always wanted to play in Spain, so hopefully I can get to play there in the future. We'll see, but that's probably my only place that I would say is my like dream place to play.
Yeah, I hear that too. I know a few hoopers from Spain, but I know the EuroLeague is really, really big out there. And again,
Yeah.
like a lot of WNBA players and stuff like that. So I'm sure you'll get there though, especially with your work ethic and everything and where you are now. I mean, your rookie season, you're already out there having a great time. So that's really, really good to hear.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. I'll make it there.
I'll be watching. I'll be watching the Instagram and everything.
Oh, perfect. Thanks.
So, another question, if you didn't play basketball professionally, what sport do you think you would be able to play pro in?
Um, Probably either track or volleyball. I played both of those up until um the end of high school, and then I ran track in college at Bucknell for a couple of years.
Nice.
So probably track just because I am fast, so I'd probably just
Hmm.
do that one. But
Yeah.
track isn't my favorite sport. It's you
Hmm.
have to like love track if you really want to do track pro, but
Hmm.
if I had to pick one, it'd probably be track.
Yeah, I definitely ran track for a little bit and I kind of got bored of it. And I'm like, I need to go play basketball. Like, it's more intense to
That's why you
me.
got field events. That's why you got to do the field events. Those are fun. Like
Oh,
high
yeah.
jump, that's what I did. High jump and hurdle. So I
Okay.
wasn't just running.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. The high jump and hurdles, the field events in general. I'll take that.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun.
Mhm. So, last question. What piece of advice, based on your experience, could you give someone who aspires to be in your position in the future?
I know we kind of talked about it, but definitely just work ethic. Honestly, if you work really hard, you can get anywhere you want, and it's all about who you know. Being
Hmm.
personable is such a big thing nowadays, just because people are so locked into like their phones and being about themselves, like being a nice person, like really gets you far. Because once you find new connections and new people, like you can really do anything you want, especially if you give 100%. Like
Hmm.
I feel like that's such a big thing. And it's really important for kids to keep doing that now. So like when they're in the future, like they will be able to say, like, oh, I have a good reputation. I've talked to this person, and now I'm able to play because I did this and this and this and gave it 100% everywhere I went.
Hmm. Yeah, that's great advice. I'm definitely going to use that. Thank you so much. Well, that ties up the interview. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you joining the podcast today.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I had a blast.
Of course, of course. Like I said, I'm gonna keep following the Instagram, so keep working hard and keep doing you.
You too. Keep it up.
Thank you. I appreciate that.